Hello? Can we get a final round of applause, guys, for Rubox?
Got it!
Next up, we actually have Christian Ariola, who's going to say a few words. He was our vice president 2 years back and our sports co-coordinator 3 years back. So let's give a round of applause for Christian.
I'm nervous as hell. Honestly, coming up here, it was like kind of a decision to make because I was just really nervous and I didn't really prepare like a true speech to tell everybody here, and just seeing everybody here that laid the history before us, you know, like getting me like shaking already. But I guess this is like my testimony. I was really eager to do it at first because I was like, David, I want to speak, but might have been a bad idea. But anyway, I guess I'll start this way. I see the past and the future. This could be a weakness of mine. I sort of catch myself living maybe in nostalgia sometimes, but sometimes I'll catch myself living so much in my dreams instead of living in the present. And you know, just living in the past and the future, sometimes it distracts me. But it's something I do have, and it sounds outrageous, and I feel like kind of hard to believe, but it's literally how I like see everything. It's like my perspective, and I'm just not lying to you when I say like this is really my perspective. So I want to tell you guys maybe like just a little like metaphor / anecdote of mine, and I just have written here just three words that I kind of want people to grasp from this. And it's understanding, value, and appreciation. This is the weirdest metaphor ever, so I'm just going to start telling you guys about kind of my first car. It was given to me from my father. I was lucky enough to have that passed down to me. It's a privilege when I was 16. And I used it to drive me places, go to school, whatnot. I was young. I didn't understand what exactly the privilege I had. And who here wasn't 16 at one point, driving 90 on like 45 or 60? It's just clearly like I was just too young to understand it. I'm taking it for granted. I'm speeding. Like I'm clearly not appreciative of the fact that I have this car that was handed down to me. So without the understanding of that privilege, I didn't see the value in it, where the gas, I didn't pay for my gas, or I didn't change my own oil. Again, some people had to do this. I was blessed enough not to have to do all this stuff. I didn't have to change my tires. It was all done for me. I didn't realize the value in the product that was handed down to me, which was that old car. I saw it as an old car. I didn't want that car. Everybody when they're young, they want a Dodge Viper right away. But that's just not how things work all the time. So without seeing the value in it, how could I appreciate it? You know, I couldn't appreciate the privilege of having a car. Like I said, driving 90 and 45, first thing I wanted to do when my friends got cars, let's race them. Let's go down these public roads and race the S out of this car. But, you know, like I didn't appreciate that privilege again. So this weird metaphor is leading into, what is the car? What does that have to do with anything? It's kind of like our Filipino culture. You know, when you're growing up and you're young, you're just Filipino and you just go to these gatherings, these fiestas, and you're just like, oh, this is awesome, there's food, people are singing, cool. You don't really notice it for what it is until you're like in the actual bigger world where you're a minority, you know. I really appreciate Scotty coming up here and like just shouting out his pride of being Filipino, because that's something I feel like in this country at least will eventually like dissipate within generations if we let it. So what do I understand about the Filipino culture? What I didn't understand about car maintenance is like what I didn't understand about Filipino culture, the beauty of it. You know, we all make jokes about the accent, like, oh, it is fried fish or anything. I'm not good at the accent things, but there's people who are, like, we see that as jokes, but what about in 50 years when those accents are gone? They're not even jokes anymore. And that's really what we need to appreciate about our own culture, is that there are things to make jokes about, and there are things that our culture is known for doing. And that's something I just didn't understand. And again, without an understanding, you can't value it, you know. Growing up, I didn't see my culture as something I valued. I was just like, I'm Filipino. And you know how it is growing up here, you know, like the way everybody sees you at first is just, oh, you Chinese, you Japanese. No, I know. You Mongolian. But it's just, you know, like, it's hard to be, like, realize the minority you are. And I'm sorry I'm, like, kind of rambling, but this is what I get for not preparing anything. But, so, value. That's, how much rice did our parents have to make, and, like, how much values did they have to transmit through, like, just being their own culture, their primal self from the Philippines, for us to become the people we are today. Filipinos, I've always noticed, we're very humble, we're very family-oriented, we're welcoming. That's just those are some of the most beautiful things in a culture that you could have, you know. And so that's like the value of what comes through our culture, and a lot of people fail to realize that, the little things. So without value or understanding, it's hard for us to appreciate it. And without appreciating it, we can't be prideful. You really just have to appreciate, you know, the privilege of being Filipino and understanding how special of a people we are. We're so talented, we're hardworking, we're lazy, but it's just the way we are very, like, infused with our family values is really one of the most special things you could, like, find in life. So this old car we're driving, you know, it's kind of, you see it as an old car when you're growing up. It's like, oh yeah, I'm Filipino, it's an old car. I wish, you know, like, sometimes, I see some people like, I'm ashamed, but, like, some people are like, I wish I was white, you know, like, or I wish I was black or whatever. But being Filipino is just too sick, you know? Like, it doesn't look like a new car, but it, you know, like, that's our job now. We need to buy this new car, and we need to drive it with pride. This is our new car. Now that we're old enough to understand, to value, and to appreciate our culture, we need to make this our car that we're proud to drive, because when our next generations come down to it, it's going to be an old car by then, because they're just going to be like 16. They're just like, all right, I guess I'm Filipino. But as long as we set the foundation of letting them understand the value of that car, they will eventually get that new car and understand how to drive it as well. If that makes sense. But yeah, we just need to allow that. I mean, like I said in the beginning, I see the past and the future. I see all of you guys right now in front of me here. I see Tux, the first president. Where is he at? He's not in the seat. Oh, there he is. I knew it. All right. Tux, the first president of UCF. None of us would even be here at all. Some of us weren't even born. None of us would be here at all without that first initiative. I see Jeff, Mr. ASA, he's starting his story now. You know, that's just complete opposites. Like, Alvin of FBL. For those of you playing FBA, like, FBA would have never existed without, like, me seeing FBL. Scotty Rubox, he's literally a hip-hop legend. If you guys don't know about the hip-hop community, everybody looks up to this guy. Like, my outing is closing out his VP year with Sayaw, just as I once had. That's Kevin over there. My real outing, my brother, is here in this room with us, starting his story. That's just insane to me. You know, this is the past and the future, right here, like, right in front of us. And we're all here right now, so, like, seeing the past and the future, it's not really that impossible. You see, it's, like, kind of physical at this point. So maybe this is the past that we're in right now. And in the past, Gala was an event hosted with 40 to 50 people with a barbecue stick and some dumplings for the main course, and a minute video to somehow be expected to cover all of FSA's past. In the past, FSA UCF, a group, it was a young group, but a group full of like potential. They started Sayaw weekend with the first Gala and the first gathering of all the FSA generations. And they were the group, and here, right in front of us, is the group of people here to support it. Or is this maybe the future? Is this the future where it's Gala 10, and there's 300 people in here, and we're eating catered food from Emeralds? There's a 20-minute video covering all of our cherished generations. We're trading business cards like a freaking Pokemon cards. And it's just one huge family of titos, titas, lolas, and lolos. And we're all together, you know? I see both sides. I appreciate everything. I appreciate it from the past. I appreciate it from the future. And in the present, that helps me love everybody here in front of me. I just want to thank everybody here. I want to thank Tux and David for especially their initiative was just great. Please give them a hand. I didn't help David promote this until maybe last week, and that's a damn shame. And you know, these guys, all I saw were David posts, shameless plugins for this event, everywhere. And it just became something within the actual community now. They're like, wow, there's the David post for Gala. But that work helped me try to bring some more friends out and message out, and it's that inspiration that all drew us here to this organization. And that's why all of us are here now. Ex-president, who was my partner during our officership, he's here from Boston. Like, that's a huge effort to just come out. Thank you especially to, like, really, right here, this table, like, I was trying to tell them I was, like, nervous to come speak to them. Like, they don't understand, like, they might feel a certain way, but honestly, like, I'm over here nervous because of how great they are. And they don't understand that, but, like, I'm telling you guys right now, that's really why I'm nervous right now. I wouldn't be nervous talking about in front of the normal people. You know? But, that's just really it, you know. See the past, see the present, see the future. We can do that all here, right now. And I really, really hope you guys will come back for Gala 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Thank you, David, for letting me speak out of my ass. But I'll hand it over to David now. Thanks, guys.